Zwolle railway station dates from 1864, and it's nice to see it incorporated into the extensive improvements which date from around 2015. The old entrance concourse does lead you onto the platforms, but there are barriers. Once inside, we can enjoy this wonderfully restored train shed. I particularly like this northwestern end where the yellow glass sets it off a treat. Beyond the concourse to the southeast, the buildings are now used for shops and a very pleasant cafe with excellent coffee, I might add. And here at the southeast end is the 21st century improvements, featuring a chain shop, a brand new platform and a newly constructed and very broad subway that leads you to the platforms and also all the way underneath to the bus station beyond. Well, I'm loving this candy stripe design on the walls, but let's go back up to watch the trains come and go. There's still more than 10 minutes to go before the train, so no doubt Hoover will want to talk to you about something or other. And welcome to the railway station here at Zwolle. And I've had a little lunchtime break, come and had a look at the town, or is it city, of Zwolle. And wow, it's really beautiful. I'd like to come back and spend an awful lot more time here. It's a very cold, miserable December day. I really would like to sit outside one of their lovely cafes on maybe a warm May afternoon. That would be absolutely perfect. There's certainly quite a lot of really nice architecture, and it seems to be a place where maybe a lot of rich people came to live, because some of the houses really are huge. Anyway, I'm going to continue on my journey this afternoon, and I'm going from here in Zwolle to Den Haag. I've never been to Den Haag before, so I was really looking forward to going there, and going to have an afternoon wandering around what we British might call The Hague. The NS website certainly implies that it's going to be one of those Koploper old trains, so I'm looking forward to riding on one of those again. And we're going to go kind of a sort of north out of Zwolle and along. Anyway, voiceover man will do you a little map, and yeah, looking forward to taking a route through some of the north of the Netherlands, or fairly north, and seeing what I can see. And maybe the windows will be clean. That would be good, wouldn't it? I've got some snacks to eat on the train, and it's going to take a couple of hours or so. So yeah, let's hop on board the train to Den Haag and see how it goes. As you can see on the map, and why I'm so interested in this route, is because the train is going to cross from Zwolle onto the man-made island of Flevopolder in the region of Flevoland. And calling it an island is a bit of a push really, as much of the actual land only dates from 1968, and it's below sea level, protected by a huge system of dikes. Anyway, we'll set off west from Zwolle, and just beyond Kampen, the line will enter the Flevopolder and continue to Lelystad. From there we'll trace the coast of the island to Almere. Beyond Almere, the train will cross the water into Holland, calling at the south of Amsterdam in the extensive business district, with 2 more stops at Schiphol Airport and Leiden Centraal. Then there's just a short final section to Den Haag Centraal. Our Koploper will transport us the 154 kilometres or 96 miles in 1 hour and 39 minutes, giving an average speed of 104 kilometres per hour or 65 miles per hour, which is a decent speed for an intercity come regional type train. And here comes the train now, and it is an ICM Koploper as we expected. This 3-car unit subset of the class was built for NS by Wagon Fabric Talbot and delivered between 1983 and 1990. Now let's hop into first class, as I'm still on my first class Interrail ticket for this journey. And by the door there's a couple of 6-seater compartments, but I'm going to head for the open 2+1 saloon. Once out of Zwolle, the water theme is immediately apparent as the train crosses the IJssel on the new Hansebug. And immediately after the bridge, we take the right fork at the Flying Junction, leaving the old line to continue south to Amersfoort. The line we're on now only opened in 2012, and most of this modern route to Lelystad has a speed limit of 200 kilometers per hour, but our venerable old Koploper is limited along here to just 140. Well, it's great to see the sunshine at last, even though rainbows do mean, well, rain. And to enter Flevoland, it isn't a bridge we need, but a tunnel under the water. It's an odd feeling to think that pretty much everything I can see on Flevopolder was created by water engineers after I was born. Right at the NS stabling yards, the line takes a 90-degree turn to the south to approach Lelystad Centrum. Lelystad is the provincial capital, and so it's no surprise to find the provincial government building here by the railway station. Between Lelystad and Almere, the train traverses the Oostvaardersplassen Nature Reserve, which is a hotly debated rewilding experiment. And then it's across the dual carriageway and into the conurbation of Almere. And soon we're slowing down for Almere Centrum. If there's any Dutch speakers watching, I'd be interested to know the subtle language difference as to why some stations are centrum and some are centraal. Around the station certainly feels like there's a lot of new building going on here, but I suppose we are now very close to Amsterdam. Once past Almere Port, we cross the Holland Bridge to leave Flevoland behind and enter Holland. At the entry to Visp, it's time to cross the River Vecht. Beyond Visp, the line for central Amsterdam carries straight on, but our route will traverse the southern edge of Amsterdam as we skirt the commercial and business districts before heading southwest to the airport. Suddenly it is all motorways and high-rise, and we also pick up some of the Amsterdam metro lines. This doesn't look like much of a tourist destination, to be sure. And now we track along the A4 motorway before diving underground beneath Schiphol Airport. Well, I've used this station a few times, and although it isn't very attractive, it is a really efficient way of changing from flights to destinations across the Netherlands and beyond. Just after the airport, there's a flying junction to enable access to the high-speed line for Rotterdam, Antwerp and Brussels. But that's not for our Koploper, which will stick rigidly to the classic line for the run into Leiden. And looking at what you might pay for a journey such as this, the NS website shows first-class singles between Zwolle and Den Haag at €42.84, with a second-class ticket priced at €25.20. However, local Dutch travellers have various discount options, so many of them will not be paying these full prices. The lush farmland of this part of Holland gives way to the bustle of historic Leiden. The station itself, just like Zwolle at the beginning of this trip, is situated outside an old town that is completely encased by a star shape of canals. I'm reminded of counties such as Somerset and Lincolnshire in the UK, where fields, many just at or below sea level, are drained by a similar network of ditches and canals. And indeed it was Dutch expertise that was responsible for draining the Lincolnshire fens in the 1600s. And I should know because that's how my Dutch ancestors came to Britain. And as we approach Den Haag, we pick up this city's tram network. Remember that line peeling away, as it will reappear over our heads when we get to Centraal Station. And that's it. We're entering Den Haag Centraal on time. And I hope you found this journey through Flevoland and Holland as interesting as I did. And maybe you will consider a similar trip to see Zwolle. As I leave the train, there's one more surprise in store as I look up to see an amazing roof above my head. And there's also two more points of interest as we leave the train. Firstly, Interrail barcodes work at all Dutch stations, whilst they do not seem to work anywhere else in Europe. And secondly, as we climb, it's clear to see those trams passing right through the station, perpendicular to the main platforms. I hope you've enjoyed this ride from Zwolle to Den Haag. And if you have, then do check out more journeys I've taken in the Netherlands and elsewhere across the UK and Europe. There's now over 100 videos on the channel to choose from. And if you haven't yet seen how I travelled from Arnhem to Zwolle earlier the same day, then do click here. And thank you for watching.